Hi, welcome to my page again. This is Bigsam Beats. Yes, today I'm about to show you something very powerful, one powerful plugin that is in Cubase that has been helping me to achieve a very clean and perfect mixing. And today I want you to follow whatever that I'm going to say or do, so that as a mixing engineer you can also achieve. I know we have a lot of ways to get a clean mixing, but this particular plugin is very powerful. Most of the time when you are mixing, you find out that some instruments will be crashing with each other. Some keys have more of low frequencies, and anytime your bass come in, it struggles with the bass, fighting with the bass, the frequencies of the bass in the mix. So sometimes you end up using EQ to cut off the low frequencies of the keys, because obviously keys, you don't need too much of the low frequencies. But in the case where the low frequencies also give some body to the mix or the whole song, and you need it at the part where the bass is not playing, using an EQ to cut the whole low frequencies of those keys throughout the whole song, you are not going to achieve that. You understand? So this particular plugin will let you control these frequencies. At the same time, whenever these two instruments are not playing together, one will have the space, the free space to play without struggling. You understand? So initially I use EQ to cut frequencies in the mix, but when I found out about this particular plugin, I stopped, because this plugin will let me do the same thing without cutting the whole frequencies or the frequency of that particular instrument throughout the whole song. Nope. So example, in a mix, or when I'm mixing and the keys in the song have low frequencies that I need, at a particular point in the song, the bass stop playing and then the keys will be playing, and I need that low frequencies of the keys. I don't need to cut the low frequencies with an EQ because of the bass, but I use this plugin to control the frequencies between the key and the bass, so that anytime the bass comes in, the low frequencies of the key will be off, will give a space to the bass to play. That is what I'm going to show you, and it helped me achieve a lot. In fact, a very clean mix without having too much crashing in my mix. So without wasting much time, let me get into it and let's talk about it. So let's listen to this particular project. It's a live performing recording that we did in the church. So let's find out how we can use this frequency plugin to control the frequencies of the instruments in this song.
Clap your hands, somebody. I'm sorry, mommy. Come on. Ziala siya sulila.
Okay, so in this case, I want the drum to give some room, or some, especially in the middle, the mid range. I want to have some space for the vocal to stand in the mix. So this is what I do. I go to the drum, then I insert frequency. So that is the name of the plugin that I'm talking about, frequency. It's in Cubase, an inbuilt plugin, very powerful. So at this point, we are going to sidechain the vocal to this. So this is how I know most of you know about side chaining. So because we want the mid range, the middle frequency or the mid range. That is where we are going to work. Vocals are always in the middle, so that is where we are going to create that space for the vocal to stand in the mix. You understand? Anytime the drum will play and the vocal comes in, they won't struggle with that particular range of frequencies in that range. You understand? So now we are going to use band 5 because that is where we can achieve that. So band 5, here is it, and it's on stereo, so you change it to mid-side processing. So you click and it goes to mid-side processing. Okay, so you double click on that band, then you activate your dynamics, you go to sidechain and then select sidechain 1. I know most of you know about sidechaining, so that is what you will do. Then you go to your setup your sidechain. So you add your sidechain source, and it is the vocals that we are going to sidechain to this. So you select the vocal. Make sure your fader is pre-fader. Put it on pre-fader, and also make sure your levels are on, or your level is on 0 dB. Okay, so that is sidechain 1 in. Okay, then activate your sidechain. Now this is the range that I'm creating. I'm cutting about 14 dB frequency. I'm cutting 14 dB off the drum, so that space will be for the vocal. You understand? So anytime the drum is playing and the vocal comes in, this particular range will be for the vocal without struggling with the drum. This will let you achieve a very clean mixing. So this particular dB that I've cut off from the drum is a space for the vocal rather. So anytime the vocal comes in, this is the space that is going to fill so that it won't struggle with the drum. I'm going to use this threshold to control the amount of vocal that is coming in. Okay, so let's listen the drum and the vocals. So you can see that anytime the vocal comes in, it has that space without struggling with the drum. You understand? The same is what I'm going to do for the other instrument that is struggling with either the vocal or the drum. So now I found out that the guitar is also struggling a bit with the vocal. So I go to the guitar. So the same process. Insert the frequency plugin. Because that is what I'm hearing. It's like the guitar is a bit on the vocal. So we are creating some space, cutting some dBs of the guitar so that that space the vocal can fit in there, so that it won't struggle with the guitar, especially in the mid range. Okay, so now I'm going to use band 4. Yeah, band 4. So I go to band 4 and then I put it on mid side, double click on it, activate my dynamics, select my sidechain 1, and then add my sidechain source, that is the vocal. Make sure this is on pre-fader, also this on the 0 dB. Okay, activate my sidechain, and then now let me cut some dB, so about 12 or 14 dB.
Shake your way.
So you see, now there's some space for the vocals to also display in the mix without struggling with that instrument. So this is how I use this plugin, yes, to achieve a very clean mix. You understand? So now the instrument wouldn't be fighting with the vocal. So with the keys, as I said, when you find out that your keys also have some low frequencies which is struggling with the bass, this is what you do. You know, the bass is always, dominating the low frequencies. You understand? So now I'm going to use the band 1. I don't have to change the stereo processing to the mid side processing. No, I have to leave it on stereo. Now double click on it, activate my dynamics, and then select my sidechain 1, and then go to my sidechain routine, add my sidechain source, which is the bass, put this thing on pre-fader, and then this on 0 dB. Okay, then activate my sidechain, and then let's see how it goes. So I'm cutting some dB, like 20 dB. Okay, so let's see how the plugin is going to react when the bass comes in. So don't forget, I'm using the threshold to control the amount of bass coming in. So don't forget about that. Make sure you are always using your threshold to do that. So assuming the keys has low frequencies that much, you know, with this processing, the bass is going to play without struggling with the low frequencies of the key. That is what 8 means. So now if there is low frequencies of those keys, it won't struggle with the bass. The low frequencies of the key will give a way for the bass to play. So I don't need to use an EQ to cut off the low frequencies of the key so that it affects it throughout the whole song. No. So at a point where the bass is not playing, now the low frequencies of the key will come up, will just be playing without struggling. So anytime there's the bass, that space is given to this bass to also play. You don't need to cut, use an EQ to just cut the low frequencies, and then throughout the whole song you are not having the low frequencies of the keys. No. So anytime the bass comes in, the low frequencies of the keys will be off a bit for the bass to display without struggling with it. You understand? So that is how powerful this plugin is, and you can use it multiple ways. You know, you have about 8 sidechains, so you can sidechain this key instrument to 8 other instruments, making sure that they are not struggling with the keys. So now if I find out that okay, now the vocal is also having an issue with the keys at the mid range, I go to band 5, activate my dynamics, and then choose sidechain 2. Okay, then I come here, I choose 2, and add my sidechain source, which is the vocal, put this thing on pre-fader, and then now the sidechain is already activated. So let's see how. Then I cut some dBs of the key where the vocal is going to fill in, and then let's listen to it.
choponyawo. Si ala si yasulila. Nyamavowo, tina nyamavowo, nyamavowo, chikama choponyawo. Si ala si yasulila, nyamavowo.
So, as I said, you can still add another sidechain or another instrument to control the frequencies against the keys so that they won't struggle in the mix. And this will let you achieve a very clean mixing. No matter the number of instruments in the mix playing, you can still achieve by controlling the frequencies of every instrument in the mix with this particular plugin. So as a mixing engineer, I recommend this particular plugin for you, so that you can achieve a very clean mix. You don't struggle by controlling the frequencies of your instruments in the mix. Yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time.
Yeah,